What's up, the squad? Back with another video I seen that thought was going down. Make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button for me, please. Y'all see it right here. The Minnesota House Fraud Prevention and State Oversight Committee has given Ilhan Omar till May 5th. May 5th, and it's looking kind of slim right now. I ain't gonna lie. It's May 4th right now. So things ain't. She hasn't made a move yet. And me personally, I wouldn't be surprised if she wouldn't, produce documents or have some type of excuse about it. Says, though, that the deadline is May 5th for her to produce documents and answer any questions in writing relating to the Feeding Our Future fraud scandal after she failed to, appear in person. Like I stated before, they've left many emails over and over. I mean, emails and voicemails over and over, and no response from Ilhan Omar at all. Like said here, her name is mentioned a lot in a lot of things. I'm telling y'all, a lot of things. It's just not with Feeding Our Future. It's a lot. Says right here, Ilhan Omar has until Tuesday to turn over all communications, text, emails between her and the Feeding Our Future. Y'all know that obviously is going to, I feel like it's definitely going to be more. And I feel like this is just the start of it, meaning you have the Feeding Our Future and them getting on top of that. But I feel like that's just the start. I know for a fact there's way more, and it's just, me personally, I don't think that it's just in Minnesota either. I feel like it expands everywhere else. We seeing this fraud from Somalians that's in these different states. And I know that, she has to be tied to it.
Minnesota lawmakers are asking Congresswoman Ilhan Omar to respond by Tuesday regarding questions about a statewide child nutrition fraud scheme. The lawmakers are seeking Omar's written and electronic communications involving the state's Feeding Our Future program, which misused millions of dollars in taxpayer funds. State lawmakers specifically hoping to look at Omar's correspondence with the owners of the Safari restaurant. State lawmakers point out Omar was a regular at that restaurant, staging many campaign events there. Its owners recently pleaded guilty for their role in the $250 million fraud scheme. Now, Omar's team and allies have largely framed allegations trying to link her to fraud as politically motivated and not substantiated. But for more on this, we are joined by Minnesota State Representative Kristen Robbins tonight. She is the chair of the Minnesota House Fraud Prevention and State Oversight Committee, also a candidate for Minnesota governor. Appreciate you being here today and sharing your perspective. And I know we're fast approaching this Tuesday request for Congresswoman Omar here. If she doesn't respond by this deadline, what is your committee's move on Wednesday morning?
We hope she will respond. She certainly owes it to Minnesota taxpayers and families to respond to our questions. And so I'm still hoping, but if not, the committee will examine all our options and we will continue to press for it because she created the program, the Meals Act, that took the guardrails off the school nutrition program that created the conditions for all this fraud.
Y'all see it here. So one thing about it is that I definitely have to give that thanks and that appreciation to Nick Shirley for what he did, because I truly feel like, and it's always been talked about, but I feel like what Nick Shirley did definitely put an extra boost on, obviously, what's been going on for years. It's been going on for years, from my understanding. Not only that, you have Ilhan Omar. This is her sister, Sarah Noor. Says here, Ilhan Omar allegedly funneled millions in taxpayer dollars to Minneapolis Health Clinic, to a Minneapolis Health Clinic ran by her own sister. So y'all seeing it right here. It says, while serving in office, Omar backed big public funding for the People's Center, where her sister served as CEO. So you're having Ilhan Omar in multiple things, and it's all coming back to her. And that's what, when it comes down to all the communications, obviously she's going to delete some stuff, but then again, it's not deleted. You know what I mean? And that I know a lot of things are definitely going to come out. They talk about Feeding Our Future, but I feel like, you just take that one step at a time, what I've been saying for a while now. Says investigations are ramping up to Ilhan Omar fraud. Even the Minnesota House Fraud Committee is obtaining documents from her. Check it out.
Ilhan Omar's been under investigation for allegedly marrying her brother so he could immigrate to either a European country or America from Somalia. His name, Ahmed Nir Saad Elmi. They divorced and then he fled the country. Does that seem a little bit odd to you?
When I started talking about her latest episodes of what seemingly corrupt behavior, I heard from more people at home, former people from your business. One channel in particular, these guys are retired now, told me that they had the information on Ilhan back in 2013 or 14 when she was first on the rise in Minnesota politics, and their station would not play the story because Minnesotans are afraid of being called names like racist or xenophobe or Islamophobe.
Are you talking about a local station in Minnesota?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Look, I know Tom Homan was on last night somewhere because I heard that he was talking about they are digging into her files as we speak. Okay. And there is more to come.
It definitely is more to come. And one thing about it, I truly feel, because I have a lot of real Minnesotans in my comments a lot. And they'll say, you know, I'm in Minnesota and this is really, truly just not it. Like, this is not it. And, you know, they say different things, but my thing is real Minnesotans ain't trying to put up with it. They ain't trying to put up with it. And just like, you know, you seen many protests, you seen people coming from different type areas, you know, different states, you know, but it wasn't real Minnesotans. Who else wasn't out there was Somalians, because they do not care. You know, you have Ilhan Omar, obviously, that truly, and when I say that she cares for her people, she's the type of person that her people eats first. You know what I mean? Her people eats first. And you see straight through it. I'm telling y'all, you see straight through it. You got it right here. President Trump says no more Somalians in the USA and that he's completely done. Check it out.
Which is barely a country. You know, they have no anything. They just run around killing each other. There's no structure. And when I see somebody like Ilhan Omar, who I don't know at all, but I always watch her for years. I've watched her complain about our Constitution, how she's being treated badly. Our Constitution, the United States of America, is a bad place. Hates everybody, hates Jewish people, hates everybody. And I think she's an incompetent person. She's a real terrible person. But when I watch what is happening in Minnesota, the land of 1,000 lakes, or however many lakes they have, they got a lot of lakes. But this beautiful place, and I see these people ripping it off, and now I'm understanding, and you're going to look at that, Scott, I hear they ripped off Somalians, ripped off that state for billions of dollars, billions, every year, billions of dollars, and they contribute nothing. The welfare is like 88%. They contribute nothing. I don't want them in our country, I'll be honest with you, okay? Somebody would say, oh, that's not politically correct. I don't care. I don't want them in our country. Their country's no good for a reason. Their country stinks, and we don't want them in our country. I could say that about other countries, too. I can say it about other countries, too. We don't want them to hell. We have to rebuild our country. You know, our country's at a tipping point. We could go bad. We're at a tipping point.
And the thing is that what people fail to realize is that President Trump is definitely a president that's not gonna sugarcoat nothing. He's a president that's not gonna sugarcoat nothing. He gonna speak exactly what's on his mind and let it out. And you know, him just saying this country is at a tipping point and just seeing how bad it is, you gotta think you're already dealing with crime as it is. But to deal with crime, you know, with the American people, you as citizens then have to deal with crime with illegal aliens that shouldn't have happened in the first place, seeing how, you know, when it comes to the Biden administration that's leaving the border open, it becomes complete chaos. You know, so you have that, not only that, like I mentioned before, when it comes down to these Somalis, I don't know if y'all didn't catch the video, I think it was last night's video, a video of a former football player, football star, that actually said that, you know, him being in Minnesota and him just being around and him used to, you know, buying luxury cars and, you know, football players. He would always see Somalians buying the same thing that he's buying. He's, you know, at the time he said, you know, not thinking about it, but now that he's looking back, like, now I'm seeing it. And if you have that and just seeing how long it's been going, I'm telling y'all, it's absolutely nuts. Not even that. You having all this crime. You have illegal aliens, within the crime, violent crime, and then you're having a bunch of fraud that's going on. I mean, President Trump is completely right. I'm telling y'all. So that brings me to, more of Ilhan. Says here, I don't know how you say her name. Hopefully I say it right, but Jaya Paul's praise of Ilhan Omar's courage, as she's saying. Check it out right here, y'all.
The America I knew before these libs started to burn it down, that America was worth dying for. But when I heard this, I didn't even know how to react.
Thank you, Representative Omar. We are so grateful for your incredible leadership, for your courage, and for your representation.
Leadership for what?
Exactly.
Courage? Not only do they not know what America is, they don't have any idea what courage is. You see, in my mind, this was courage. Thousands of young men who gave up everything, some of who lied about their age, to storm the beaches of Normandy into a hail of bullets that almost guaranteed to kill them. Raised the flag after 36 days on the Battle of Iwo Jima at top of Mount Suribachi. Courage is what kept my country out of the hands of communists like those people who are letting people out of jail on no cash bail, who want no checks on illegal immigrants. Some of those are from her own country of Somalia, who have killed American citizens, who take our benefits that are paid for by the good, God-fearing people who work their fingers to the bone and their backs to the breaking point so we can have stock shelves so they can waltz in there and get a vegan tea and some tofu. Courage? I've put friends in boxes who have courage. Drape the flag over the same people that those libs proclaim to hate. They aren't.
I'm not going to lie. He's speaking true facts right now. He's speaking true facts, and this just goes to show you on how many people are fed up with what they got going on.
Courageous? They're cowards. They're rabid activists that hates everything that everybody I know and love died for. Getting driven around by a motorcade from your Capitol Hill office with your armed guards while you try to take our guns. You speak like you've sacrificed something, Jayapal. You haven't sacrificed anything, ever. So no, thank you for nothing. You represent nothing about America. You, Ilhan Omar, you represent a district that's being investigated for billions of dollars in fraud from a country that is nothing like America. And you came here by our good graces, by the way. So much so that you left your own country to rot and you came here. You're in a district that's recruited more terrorists than any other in the United States. And as she sits back in her chair, look at her. Look at that face, that smirk. She thinks she crushed that speech. Meanwhile, anybody who's ever given anything to something bigger than themselves is watching that, and they're ashamed that she ever got elected to Congress. So, yeah, I'd love to go back to the country that people like Ilhan Omar escaped to. But she's so historically illiterate and ideologically blind that she has no idea how far her vision is from the reality that, quite frankly, I'd still be honored to fight and die for.
I'm not going to lie. It honestly give you the chills. It give you the chills listening to something like that, because it's more so of I don't really know the word of it, because it's just pure stupidity. I'm not even gonna lie. The way that they talk, matter of fact, I'm gonna show y'all something even worse. When it comes to Jayapal, and I wanted to make sure I put this in here because it's complete. When I tell y'all it's crazy, it's crazy. You got Jayapal right here, obviously Democrat House member. Says who's not even an American-born citizen admits training activists to violently protest, clash against ICE and law enforcement. This was just posted. I don't know how long ago this was, but I'm pretty sure it has to be new. I'm not 100% sure, but this was posted today and shared everywhere today. I don't know if y'all seen it, but y'all gonna see it here. Check it out.
The reality is that consumers across the country said, no, we're not going to tolerate that. So we are building to those moments. And right now, there are a lot of attacks on our democracy. I mean, the Republicans just passed a budget resolution that puts another $70 billion into ICE and CBP. And that is just wrong. That's on top of the $170 billion that they put in with their big bad betrayal bill last year. which is why we, the movement, Democrats in the House, Democrats in the Senate, and all of us on the outside said not a dime more for ICE and CBP without massive reform, because those agencies don't even need to exist. They need to be completely dismantled.
Yes.
And
Yes.
we're successful with that, right? We just funded all of DHS except for ICE and CBP.
Right. That's right.
So that would not have happened without this movement. So today, as we march, let's just count all the ways in our head as we go through, all the ways that we have power. We have power individually, with the decisions we make, with the places we go, with the shops that we frequent, but we also have power as human beings with our networks to bring more people in, to train more people in what it looks like to have effective nonviolent resistance. And that's why I do Resistance Lab. We have our next session Sunday at 11 o'clock. Please sign up, resistancelab.us. We've trained 30,000 people across the country. This is what it's going to take. Ongoing, dedicated, organizing work that lifts other people up, that brings new people in, and that says, when the people fight, we win. When the people fight, we win. And we, the people, are the most powerful institution of any. Because that's
No, that leads to that. Don't lead. That's bad. Like that, and then you got people cheering this on. Even even if some of these people don't go out and actually protest and do things, there's other people that will see this video and they will spread this around and thinking it's something that's okay to do. When you have a House member that's telling y'all to do this stuff, and basically like it's because there's some people out there. I'm not, I ain't making up excuses for them. I say this like every video, but because you have to. But it's like people will listen to this and run with it. People will literally listen to this and run with it, and we've been seeing it. We truly been seeing it on how bad things are because you have people like her that are sitting here and getting people riled up.
what we are. So thank you all so much for being here. Se puede.
Si se puede. Si se puede.
I'm telling y'all, it's ridiculous. It's truly ridiculous. I mean, you literally have it right here. You have the left. Defund the police, gun control, legal immigration, higher taxes, weak military. Anyone can vote. Lockdowns, mandates, big government. You have riots and chaos. Then you had the right. Protecting life, secure borders, strong military, limited government, voter ID, free speech, freedom to work, opportunity economy. So economy. It got me frustrated right now. It truly has me frustrated because you have when I tell y'all, you have so many people that truly don't pay attention and realize what they're causing and what they're doing. Is truly sickening. And I'm going to show y'all something else too, as we get, throughout this video, because there are a lot of people that actually are realizing what's going on and leaving, the Democratic Party. Truly. But you have it right here, and I want to show y'all this. I definitely want to show y'all this, because I feel like this is something that's truly important, on what Jesse Waters said right here. So check it out.
Michael Steele, black man, doesn't care that the group sent $1 million to the neo-Nazis? They paid the Grand Wizard. He doesn't care. They also don't care that the group committed bank fraud, wire fraud, and defrauded all their donors. Don't care. As long as they smeared Republicans. Doesn't matter. The ends justify the means. I'm beginning to think the entire Democratic Party is a whole scam. What is it really about? Stealing money, flooding the country with illegals, and calling us racists. That's it. Every time you look under the hood, all you find are scams. COVID. Wait a second. Fauci funded the lab where the virus came from? Whoa! Somali daycare, $19 billion. Wait a second. There's no children in the daycare center. What happened to USAID? None of the money left D.C. It all went to Democrats there. Everything. Russia, Hunter, whatever happened to the Green New Deal? It was about $1 trillion, right? Where are the windmills? Where are the solar panels? Where'd they go? I haven't seen anything. They haven't even built the little charging stations for the EVs. Where did it go? How about Omar? Omar, the other day, was worth $100,000. Next month, she was worth $30 million. Then she went back down to $100,000. How does that happen? They put Donald Trump on trial because of a bookkeeping thing, and she just gets away with inflating and deflating her net worth. Maybe she's hiding the money. Maybe there was never any money. Here's the point. You can't pay racists and then raise money off racism. And it all started 10 years ago in 2014 when they started incubating the nation with racism. You saw it all over television, all over the newspapers. Race, race. Remember the syrup? Remember the songs? We used to do stories on the 5 all day long. And it crushed the heart and soul of the country. Everyone was afraid. People were getting canceled. You couldn't say what you wanted to say. And then, what did it turn out to be? A big, fat psyop. And it turns out we all love each other. And they don't want us to love each other. But we do anyway. We love you.
I'm not gonna lie. I didn't play that video before, and I definitely have to play it again because one thing about it is that it's definitely true, but it definitely is, and I can say sad. And I say that because you have people, again, that do not pay attention, that's in denial, and a lot of it, honestly, is very much so, not even trying to be funny, very much so common sense. I'm telling y'all, it is common sense, and people are not realizing. I mean, it's common sense. I wouldn't lie to you. It's all common sense. People just gotta wake up and realize what's going on. You have it right here, and y'all know me. I'm stating this because it's definitely important to put this out here that there are people that are leaving the Democratic Party. Not only just people, but I want to play this video. I definitely wanted to play this video. This is you got it right here, and it says, so y'all don't be thinking, people be like, oh, it's not based off of color, reckless. It says a young black woman just laid it out. The Democratic Party has completely failed her and countless others, and she's all for MAGA now.
I used to believe I was owed reparations due to slavery. I believed that I couldn't be racist towards white people because I didn't have systemic power. I believed in Black Lives Matter, George Floyd, all that stuff.
Y'all know why she believed in it? I'm gonna tell y'all. Y'all see me, and it's not just because this is one thing about it. You don't just come out of the womb and be like, oh yeah, I'm a Democrat. It don't happen like that. Y'all know how it happens. A lot of it, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, a lot of it has that strong influence from your parents, from the people that have raised you, or if it's some people that do their own research, but most likely a lot of it comes from the parents. It starts with the parents. I always say that, it starts with the parents. And why she's like this and why she thought like that, just from myself, my parents are still Democrats. I tell you all the time, Democrats, strong Democrats, and just like she said, George Floyd, Black Lives Matter, all of that. And, you have people that does that. And when you surround yourself with people that obviously are like that, and you see, you're friends with people, whether if it's social media, whether if it's, people that's just walking with you or going to these protests and like how things are now, it's easy for people to be so clicked to that. I have a younger sibling, about a year or two ago that we had, some words about some stuff, about it. It was during the election. It was during the election, and I was trying to tell them, about, different things and this, that, and the other. And a lot of it is because when I say it, and I've said it before, when I say social media is a hell of a drug, I mean it. And what I mean by that is that you have so many teens, you have so many, not even just teens. You have young adults and you have older adults. You have kids that are so stuck in the phones and the iPads and this, that, and the other. And not to say that it's a problem, because that's what I have to do. I sit here and I have my phone here with my notes. I literally sometimes I don't want to tell them myself, but times that I'm watching a game, while I'm editing, or sometimes while I'm even video. But it's you have that around you. You have a device in front of you and you're seeing things. So if they're seeing things and they're seeing family members, they're seeing friends, with all this Black Lives Matter and this, that, and the other, you're starting to see on just how much of influence, people are just bringing in this. It gets sad. And that's why I love each and every day of what I do to spread the knowledge to a lot of, not just obviously Americans, but, and not to bring color into it, but Black Americans, because it's a lot of people, especially Black Americans, that truly are rather not really get into it. And they'll rather, listen to a parent about some stuff or see something online. And not to say that everybody's wrong, but a lot of this, I'm telling y'all, is common sense. I got to get back to the video. Enough of me talking.
I believed in transgenderism, feminism, pretty much everything that was backwards. And now,
did you say blackwards?
Yeah, that was actually a Freudian slip, but yeah, backwards. Okay. And
blackwards. That's crazy. I'm gonna make a hoodie that say blackwards.
Now I'm pretty much.
I'm gonna try to make something
opposite of everything. I'm not for the feminism. I'm not for the stuff. I'm not for Black Lives Matter or reparations.
What happened?
Well, I had a situation back in Chicago where I moved in an apartment, and they originally told me I'd be assigned a roommate of the same gender to share a bathroom. They actually ended up assigning me a transgender as a roommate, and I only found out it was a transgender because the toilet seat was being left up consistently. And when I reached out to my Black housing manager, she told me they weren't allowed to discriminate and I could move down the hallway to another room if I had a problem. And when she used the word discriminate, it made me think about politics. So I started looking up just what in politics made it legal for a man to be in a woman's space. And all of a sudden, I'm seeing all the evil, racist, Republican white people are the ones with common sense who don't want this weirdness going on. So I found myself voting for Trump.
And you became a wife at 23?
I did.
After being a feminist your whole life?
Did.
Okay.
So let me tell y'all something about this. Just being real, because I know a lot of people, some people have, problems with what she said, when it comes to the R word, Republican, white people are the ones with common sense. Let me tell y'all something. Me personally, I know her, how do you say this? Like being sarcastic, and it has to be said so other people can realize what's going on. So I don't think it was, pointed towards directly saying how she's saying things. And I'm hoping that's what she's meaning. But at the same time, you have other people that's also saying, and you obviously have people that's saying stuff, and that's probably what she meant. That's in the comments, excuse me. I got hiccups now. In the comments that are, does that mean I'm talking too much? that are in the comments saying, well done, clapping, this, that, and the other. But you had somebody that commented, and I seen a comment and it said, oh, wow, well, what took you so long? Let me tell y'all something. It's better for people to switch and realize now to not realize at all. And that's what people don't get. You have to, it's better for a person to say, okay, everything's good. I'm realizing what's going on and what's important, and that's it and that's all. Rather than them not knowing at all and still being brainwashed for what they got going on. And a lot of people not knowing that. I'm telling y'all, people got to tap in and realize what's going on. One thing about it, I'm going to show y'all a little of this video, and I want that. That's why I liked it and bookmarked it. You literally have it right here. CNN reports Black voters are shifting away from Democrats as Trump approval rises. Check it out.
We're seeing right now in the numbers as President Trump and the Republican Party are chipping away at the long-term advantage that Democrats have had with black voters, with African Americans. You can see it right here. Look, Trump's approval among African Americans at this point in term one, he was at 12%. He's been losing ground with a lot of people. He's gaining ground with African Americans. He's up to 16% at this point. And you say, this isn't that big of a shift. But I will tell you, Republicans absolutely love this shift that's going on because Democrats have had such a long-term advantage. The fact that he's actually gaining ground versus where he was in term number one, this has major implications for elections down the line because Democrats, especially in a lot of these tight races, you talk about places like Georgia, right down in the South, you see this type of movement for Trump actually gaining ground. This could have major ramifications and help put Republicans over the top in a number of southern places in the midterm elections.
But do you see this as part of a bigger trend?
I see this as absolutely part of a bigger trend. Donald Trump's Republican Party is absolutely gaining ground, not just him gaining in terms of his approval rating, but look at the party ID margin, Kate, because this to me was absolutely stunning. Look at this party ID margin among African Americans. At this point, in Trump term number 1, Democrats had a 63-point advantage. That has absolutely fallen. Look at where it is now. A double-digit shift away. Democrats, of course, still have the advantage, but it's a 12-point shift to the Republican Party. And I look back through Gallup's records. They sent me their records. And this, in fact, lead that Democrats have is actually smaller than any lead from 2006 to 2021. So Democrats are leading. But again, we're talking about chipping away. Republicans are chipping away at this long-term advantage that Democrats have had among African Americans. We see it in terms of Trump's approval rating, and we even see it to a wider degree among the party ID margin, where all of a sudden there are a number of African Americans who are walking away from the Democratic Party, and a number of them who are walking into the Republican tent.
And y'all see it. I mean, it all makes sense. It all makes sense, and it's all true. As y'all see, even CNN is saying it. And that right there, it truly makes me happy, because not only are African Americans, because it's just not of African Americans in the Democratic Party, but one thing about it on why, I put this in here is because when it comes down to it, they more so look at, African Americans when it comes down to it, to vote and to be there and say that they'll do this and say they'll do that, knowing obviously that, I mean, come on. People are realizing. People are seeing the common sense, and I definitely love it. I'm definitely starting seeing, I'm starting to see, and I told y'all, I guess you could say one of the YouTubers that literally will talk to anybody and everybody. If y'all see me anywhere, y'all see me in the comments, y'all see me from Instagram, anything. One thing about it is that I truly, I truly have that love, for everybody. I truly have that love for everybody. I do see y'all comments. I'm starting to see more, obviously, African Americans in my comments. So I definitely love that. It definitely, makes me smile a little bit that you're starting to see more and more people, start to actually come together and have that common sense together. It's truly important, for that. Make sure to hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. Definitely appreciate y'all. Stay tuned for the next video dropping tonight. Catch y'all next one.